Hey guys, hope y'all are doing great today. Here for week 2 of the Food Forest tours. I'm liking these tours so far because they help me remember what I need to do and focus on each week. And hopefully it'll be neat seeing the progress each time on here. So this is just an update on the natural garden area. It's starting to get had a little bit warmer than cooler weather. So some of this just natural weedy cover crop that I just used to let it come up helps establish a living, just growing layer so that I really haven't had a problem with huge weed issues during the summer months, which before I was doing this, it was just crazy. The amount of weeds that, vigorous weeds that just, would shade out everything. But letting this natural winter cover crop has just mainly cut that out, as most of these winter so-called weeds, would be very mild and non-aggressive really, and they'll die out by the time if I can get the seeds timed for the right spot. Then the spring and summer crops will come up as these winter crops, are fading out for the year. So just that creating something that's constantly living in the soil is just, from what I've seen, been really important and really helpful to just keeping labor and weeds and other stuff down. And the exception might be some of these grasses. I hadn't really put down a good leaf mulch in that section and along the fence line right there. So I may try to cut them down to the ground and put some, might be probably too late to find leaves right now this year, but they've been coming back each year, so we'll focus on that area and just put a good leaf mulch down for a year or so. I think that'll knock them out too in that area, because I hadn't really been growing anything over there. I've just been letting them be as is. But eventually, like I talked about in the previous video, I want to convert this to food forest. And however, my main focus is the main food forest back there right now, trying to get that soil and the trees in top shape. So I may get to this soon, maybe not, but have lots of updates on the actual food forest back there and see how that really changes, probably coming soon. So that's exciting. I didn't go over to the grapes last week, so we'll start with them and then go back like we did the week before. These are just some grapevines. They're a few years old. I think about maybe 3 years or so. They've got some nice buds. Let's see if I can get some they send off these long branches this way. And so yeah, these this area right now is kind of would be considered as like just pure grapevines, really, I guess is the way to say it. Just trellises and trellises of just grapevines, pretty much. There was one right there. Oop, that one's leaning over. Need to fix that. Sometimes they fall over like that and just pull them back up. Hopefully that'll stay. So yeah, I'd walk over. There's 4 across, and then there's 3. So there's 4 across that way, and then there's 3 across running this way. So spacing's been good. I could have put the trellises closer together, but converting it now to mainly, really, could probably do like a trellis in between that. Honestly, you could do another one. It might be a little close because, as you can see, they kind of really spread out pretty wide once they get going. But yeah, this is one that's about 3 years old, and I need to mound up around these because it gets quite wet in the spring and late fall and winter. It's another one. These are all about the same age. These are just all table grapes. Most of these are seedless. Let's just walk in between these and do this all in one stretch. See, this one is a muscadine, and it's a really good one. It's like a light, turns like a light pinkish, rustyish color when it's ripe, and it's got these, just a lot of these branches, and it just produced fruit like crazy this past year. And let's see if we can just zoom in on it. You can see all these little buds. Most of these will produce a cluster of a few big fat muscadine grapes, about that big or so, depending on how big they get. So no, it's hard to see now, just these buds, and they get it to focus. But it'll really, like, at first I was like, should I prune it back? And I let it go last year, and it just produced so many muscadines that it was crazy. And this vine has just been super healthy and done really well here. And so yeah, I hadn't pruned it at all, and I'm just letting it go, do like it wants to. And I wish I could say I got to enjoy the crop last year, but a critter happened to get to it before I could, so I didn't get to see or taste any of the fruit. But yeah, it was nice at least to see it all. I did get a few of the leftovers that the animal missed. I don't know if it was the squirrels, because I saw the squirrels hanging out a lot, or maybe I've seen raccoons are a lot over here, so could have been something like that. But this is just another one that's about, this one's a little older. Well, actually, I'm sorry. This one wasn't what it was supposed to be, so I killed this one. I cut it off at the ground. It looks like it's still on the ground, but it's actually cut right there. So yeah, that one's dead because it wasn't what it was supposed to be. I think I got it from like a local seller that I probably should have known it wasn't going to be right, but you live and you learn. So this one is another one, kind of a similar one. It hadn't produced nearly like the one we just looked at, but I'm seeing if it's going to really start producing in a year or two. If not, then I'm just probably going to take it out and transition it to something else. And I'd like I mentioned in the first video last week, I'd like to transition this area also to sorry, just looked like a coddling moth or something that I just hit, so it landed on the camera. Now something's flying around my face. Who knows what it is? I think this is one that didn't make it. It might have. Yeah, I think it might have. It should be close to finding out. Here's the grapevine part right here. It appears that it may have made it. This one's been struggling. I think it's pretty wet right there, and really need to mound up around these grapes since they're in a wet area. This one makes a really good red kind of table grape. It's really tangy until it gets fully ripe. It's still pretty tangy then, but it's just full of flavor. I like it. Some people may not like it if you wouldn't like really tangy things, but I really like it. Here's another one I clipped out, so this one's actually dead. It looks again like it's in the ground, but I clipped it right at ground level. There's a black muscadine. It produced a whole lot, but it was awful to me. I mean, for some reason it almost made me sick feeling eating it. I don't know why. It's just the flavor. I don't know how to describe it. I like the wild muscadines that are black around here. They were better than this one to me. And again, I got it from that same local seller that was it was labeled as a variety, but probably wasn't the right variety, or if it was, it's an awful variety. But so yeah, this one's gone, and need to replace this one too soon, but got more pressing priorities. We'll head over to the other, back to where we started, and head like we did the first time back along the blueberries.